Now, the fight over the Conservative Australian Prime Minister's leadership goes public, with a member of his own party posing a challenge against him. In response to a call for a vote on his ouster by a Liberal MP, Tony Abbott has vowed to fight the challenge.
We were elected to end the chaos of Labor. We were elected to fix Labor's mess, to build a strong and prosperous economy for a safe and secure Australia, and that's exactly what we do every day. We are going to get on with government next week. And the last thing that you'll see from me is any deliberate distractions. There will be no deliberate distractions from me, and I'm certainly expecting that we will have a strong and constructive party room meeting next Tuesday. That's what we normally do, and that's what I expect will happen next week.
Liberal MP Luke Simpkins is calling for a party vote to spill motion against Premier Tony Abbott. Now, Simpkins, who represents Western Australia, says he's doing this in the best interests of the people of his country. A leadership spill is a declaration that the leadership of a party is vacant and open for re-election. Abbott has faced growing questions about his leadership in recent weeks. He was widely ridiculed for giving a knighthood to Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth. He was also blamed for a Liberal defeat in Queensland's elections. Joining us now via Skype from Brisbane is Max Igan. He's a radio host and a political commentator. Many thanks for joining us here on Press TV. Now, of course, interesting time for Australian politics, to say the least. However, how far do you think this motion is going to go in seeing a leadership change?
I think there has to be a leadership change. I think that is the only hope the Liberal Party has of any salvation of itself at all. To salvage that party is going to be one of the hardest things the party has ever faced. It's really great, actually, that Tony Abbott has come in and done what he's done, because it will signal the fall of the far right in Australian politics. The far right has had a stranglehold over Australian politics for quite a long time, and Tony Abbott has done so many things, from health to the budget to immigration to the rejection of renewable energy. It's total capitulation to corporate interests. It's cutting a hole through the Great Barrier Reef. Even old growth forest that we spent years petitioning to save, he's just opened up for logging and hunting and all sorts of things. Here's the worst thing that could ever have happened to the Liberal Party, and his policies have been little more than the three-word slogans that he used for his political campaign, which was based on him being a moderate, and he turned out to be a right-wing extremist. And I don't think the Liberal Party will even be able to salvage itself, even if it changes the leadership. I don't think we'll get these people back elected into office for quite a long time. I don't think we'll see them there at all. I think the best hope Liberal politicians have at the moment is to leave the party altogether and to form a new party, because I honestly don't know how they will ever get over the stain that Tony Abbott's leadership has caused.
But Mr. Igan, I'm curious to know how much of the practices and policies that Tony Abbott has put in place have been from him personally, as opposed to a more party-wide ideology.
Well, a lot of them seem to be from him personally, but it has been a party ideology as well, because it's been an extremely right-wing party. The problem with Tony Abbott, though, is that you just don't know what he's going to do next. The mere fact that he suggested the knighthood for Prince Philip, this was right out of left field. No one expected this. And a politician who's going to do that, a leader of a country who's going to do that, who you don't know what he's going to say or do next, this is a very, very dangerous person to have as a world leader. So they have to get rid of him to try to salvage things, but then they really have to look at the party and get some new blood, because the old far right-wing blood that's in there really doesn't like to have new blood come in, and it's really this far right. The whole party is the problem, because these policies are spilling over from the previous Liberal government, the Howard government. I mean, it's always been the same thing. This is virtually the same government. I mean, Tony Abbott was in Howard's government as well, so it's, I don't think they're going to recover from it. They'll do what they can. They'll change leaders, but I don't think the Liberal Party will recover from this.
Well, speaking of changing leaders, who do you think can take up the helm if Tony Abbott is removed?
Well, there's really only one hope for them, I think, and that's a guy called Malcolm Turnbull. But again, he's going to have to deal with the far-right policies of the party, even if he gets in. And he, again, presents himself as a moderate, but hey, he's an ex-investment banker, so what can we expect from him?
All right, we're going to have to wait and see how this pans out. Of course, that was Max Igan, radio host and political commentator, joining us via Skype from Brisbane. Many thanks indeed, sir, for your comments here on Press TV.